Alright, welcome everyone. Well, I hope you're ready to start your hobby. So I'm going to show you just how easy it is to do that very thing. And I can't think of a better set to start with than this new one from Carrera. So let's kick the tires, light the fires, take a closer look. So right away we'll talk about the brand Carrera. If you're just getting started in our hobby, that means nothing to you, but I assure you that it is a big household name as far as slot cars go. They've been around for decades, and they're just one of the leading brands in our hobby. Plenty of accessories, extra track, everything is easy to find, and it's affordable. That's another reason why I chose this set, is that it's under $200. You don't have to spend a lot of money to get started, to find out, whether you like this hobby or not. One of the problems is that every year you get a lot of contact from parents and such wanting to get a set, and they end up spending a lot of money, hundreds of dollars, on these larger digital sets and all this. And what happens is 3 weeks after Christmas, we're not playing with them anymore, and a lot of wasted money and effort, when just keep it simple, keep it small. Also, those that have limited room, apartments, etc., you have just a small bedroom, a little set like this is ideal. You just get this, you set it up, and then you'll find out, hey, I really like this hobby, this is a lot of fun, now I want to expand. So again, just kind of starting small and keeping it simple. Another reason I chose this set, that's right, the cars, the new next-gen NASCARs from Carrera. These cars have been designed to take a beating, okay? And they're going to. Trust me. You get started in this hobby, you're going to crash a few times, and having a car that's tough enough to withstand it, well, you'll be thankful for them. Very recognizable. Kyle Larson, William Byron, most folks on this side of the pond, they just know NASCAR. So, in my opinion, they're just excellent choices to get started. So, now we've covered that. We got the cars, we got the track. Let's open it up and get it going. All right, we've got it opened up, and of course, we have to talk about the instructions. They have a couple of them here, and they're very easy to follow. One of them is for the NASCAR specifically, this set, and you should have no issues. Okay, it's very, very easy to assemble. And then in their second booklet here, it's a little bit thicker. You have all sorts of detailed instructions on taking care of the cars, things like that. Something that you want to pay attention to. So Carrera has put some effort into some really good instructions. I commend them for that. Not a lot of companies do that anymore. They just assume you know. So I like the fact that they take the time to do that. Anyway, assembly is going to be a piece of cake. Let's go. And unpacking was easy enough. Controllers, power, track clips, track supports, our track, cars, guardrail. We'll be racing here in just a few minutes. Track assembly is as easy as it gets. Have your tabs here. Just line everything up just like that. Now flip it over, and you'll notice all these red clips that came with it. These are the track clips, and they are designed going tab side up just like that to go right here into the track, just like this, and click. And to remove them, you just press right here and they come out. So you have one on each side, just like that. There you go. Now that you have those, your track is nice and secure. I like to do large sections of the track upside down like this, so I can see where the clips go. It's just a little easier for me. Then flip it over, and then I only have a couple of connections where I have to go from the underside. Assembly of the track supports, equally easy. You're going to have 4 of these taller ones like this, and you'll have 2 of the shorter ones like this. And putting them together, yeah, it's a snap. You should have seen that coming. Anyway, here's your base. Longer piece here, then your ball end right there, and then finally your track connector. There we go. Just that easy. Then it just goes right here into the side. Just slip it in And there we go. One part of the assembly that is tedious at best is the guardrails. It's just not my favorite design, but you have your clips here that go on the side of the track, and you're supposed to feed this through just like that. Alright, and then here on the ends you have your little end pieces, and those go through, and then you're supposed to attach it from the underneath. You just have to make sure that you clear these areas here, otherwise it won't clip in. So for example, I'm just feeling around here underneath here, and I know that that's going to clear. So there we go. And then the same with the clip right here. I'm just going to go right here in the center, and you tilt it just a little bit and clip it into place. So again, it's tedious, but it does get the job done. Controllers are easy. Doesn't matter which one. Just slip in there. Make sure they're fully seated. These new sets come with what Carrera calls speed mode. You have a choice between 100% and 70%. It's a little tricky. Let's go through it. First of all, here it is in 100% mode, and hopefully you can hear that RPM change in just a second. There we go, 100%. Now, what we're going to do to go to 70% is to unplug the power supply, right? We're going to grab number 2 controller, hold it down. Now we're going to plug the power supply back in, let go. Now put this car back, and you can hear the difference. It's a slower car, about 70%, and it is easier to control. To bring it back to full power, you do the same thing, except you unplug the power supply, you take controller number 1, hold it down, plug it back in, then we've brought it back. There, you should be able to hear the difference. So, to their credit, they have designed it to where you can reduce the power, and that is a good thing for our younger racers, beginners, no question about it. The only thing is, I can just see this being just too much work for most folks. We have a hard enough time getting people to adjust the braid, clean the braid, things like that, just to keep the cars running. I can just see that this is going to be a stretch for some folks, but it is there. So to their credit, Carrera has redone that and allowed us to turn the power down. So for that, I'll give them a thumbs up. What I'd rather see is an easy adjustable switch on the transformer here to make it just a lot simpler for those just getting started. But again, credit where it's due. Way to go, Carrera. Just a few details about the cars. Carrera makes inline models with not one, but 2 barred magnets. You can see the magnet here, and there's one right behind the motor that you can see easier if you flip it over. What this does is it creates a lot of magnetic attraction and really keeps the cars snapped on the track. So when it comes to this kind of traction, Carrera, they got you covered. Another feature of Carrera models is they have a directional switch located here. Now, for people like me, I can't get there with my finger, so I just use a screwdriver, anything to get in there. But if you get some fingernails, you'll be able to hit that switch. So we'll leave it right here, and this is our direction of travel, like that. We come underneath here, we hit the switch. Now guess what? Up, we're going the other way. There you have it. That's pretty simple. Okay, all set up. 38 inches by 90 and a half is the footprint here the way I have it. But I would give myself 4 by 8 if I was going to make a semi-permanent table, which I'm going to do. So I'll probably start with a 4 by 8 sheet of plywood and give ourselves just a little bit more wiggle room, so to speak. But here it is, and works as intended. It's just fun. It just never gets old to have a new set, no matter how long I've been in the hobby. And it works as it's supposed to. Anybody that gets this set Christmas time, I could just see a lot of fun. I commend Carrera for the speed modes and the robust design of the cars. I mean, yeah, like I said, I love these cars. Our hobby needed them, and we finally got them. As far as other brands go, the cars like Polycar, Thunderslot, Revel Slot, if you're doing your research, just getting started, they all will work on this track. I've also got some other examples from Carrera and Skeletric, and they will all function on this track, no problem. So there you go. I hope you guys got a little bit out of this. What I'm going to do is I'll show you a few maintenance tips to end the review, but there you have it. Just a nice, simple track design, and it's fun. And what is that? That's right, fun is the bottom line. Anyway, hope it helps you. And as always, your feedback, your questions, I look forward to your comments, and we'll help you as much as we can. Your new track will need a little maintenance from time to time, and that means just a simple dusting. I like to use a microfiber cloth. Do not spray any chemicals, anything directly on the track or on the towel. You don't need to do that. Just a good old-fashioned wipe down just like this. There you go. No muss, no fuss. Just a word about maintaining your cars. You don't have to worry about lubrication. That's already been taken care of for you. But you do have to pay attention to these braids. The braids are what makes contact with the rails on the track, and if they're dirty or if they're out of adjustment, the car will run erratically or it won't run at all. It is the #1 cause of issues with these slot cars is the braid. So first thing we do to clean it is I like a toothbrush. What you'll do is you'll inspect the braid for dust, dirt, fibers, hair, etc. It picks up everything. You'll be surprised. And I just take a toothbrush and drag it across like that, just this way, this direction, not that way, this way with the braid, just like that. And then we make sure that it's adjusted. I like to just take a little screwdriver and just do that, and just gently point the braid down towards the track, just like that. All right, then turn the car over, set it on the track, grab your controller, and just test it and make sure that you have contact. Eventually the braid will need to be changed. The directions are pretty clear, but let me share this with you. To pull this guide keel out by hand, it's pretty difficult for me. So I like to use a needle nose pliers, and that pops them right out. As you can see, that was pretty tight. Now, to remove the braid, just grab one end right here and pull. And then you can get it from the back side and pull and removed. And then just reverse that to put it back in there. It's just a pressure fit, just like that. Make sure it's adjusted. And then you can install the blade back into the car. Just line it up and snap fit. So, not that hard, but again, I tell you, needle nose comes in handy. Just a quick word on track dimensions. Carrera track is a little wider than other brands found on the market, just a bit over 7 3/4. So it gives you plenty of room, right? It also takes up a little bit more room than other track systems. So if you're really restricted on space, well, that could be a game changer for you. But let's talk about the upside. So yes, Carrera track will take up more room. I'll just compare it here with the Skeletric track, which is a great track system too. It is 6 1/8. So you can definitely tell the difference. So if you're really super restricted on space, maybe Skeletric is the brand for you. But for me, I like the added width. Why is that? That's because we don't just race 1/32 scale, we enjoy 1/24 scale. That may or may not be a big deal to you now, but in the future, once you've invested in a system, one day you might come down and say, man, I'd really like to play with these bigger cars. Well, with Carrera and this width, you can do that. Some final thoughts here. Don't let analysis lead to paralysis. It happens too often in our hobby. Don't worry about making that perfect choice. Whether it's this set from Carrera or another brand, if you like the looks of it, just get it. Because you're going to find out that the best track is the one that you own. So please, by all means, go out, get a set, and start having fun. You're going to thank me for it. I look forward to your comments, your feedback. If you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to message me or any of the folks there on our forums in the Facebook group. They'll be more than happy to help you. Anyhow, happy shopping and enjoy the ride.